And then I just wanted to do a little example, since I have about 20 minutes left. I'll do a little example of how you might want to integrate together some 3D elements into a scene. Hopefully my poor little air can handle it. I think it can. Let's try. So now I've got some motorcycle and a car together, a police car, so hopefully the police is not going to catch my motorcycle speeding on the freeway. All right, and then maybe I want to have something else in a different scene. I'll do an interior scene for the next scene. So I've got my two elements now within this scene, but maybe I also want to put some animation on them. So I've got my motorcycle starting over here, but maybe I want it to end somewhere else. So maybe I'll go to my top view, and then I'll use my top view just to move my motorcycle like over this way. And then I can do the same thing with my police car, because maybe my police car is going to be chasing the motorcycle, so let's have him like behind him there. And then as the motorcycle is running away, we'll have the police car chasing behind him. And right now it doesn't really look super exciting from the camera angles that I've got, so the next thing I can do is I can take my camera and I can put some keyframes on my camera. So let's do a first keyframe over there. We're kind of going to follow the action a little bit, but maybe we're going to start out kind of far away from the action, and then we're going to zoom in a little bit. So let's just do something like that. And actually, instead of zooming in that way, what I should do is I should actually make this into a 3D camera, and then I should move my camera to where it belongs in my 3D scene over here. So as I'm animating these over time, I want to see where the position of those is going to end up, so I can see that my 3D objects are going to end up over here, so that's where I want my camera to be at the end, and then at the beginning I want my first camera to be somewhere over here. So I see those guys like that. And then there's also a little bit of top-down action that I need to fix here. So if I take a look from my camera view of what's happening there, then I want to select my, my last keyframe, and I want to move it up to get it in the right position vertically. There we go. It looks a little bit more exciting. And I might also now want to incorporate some 2D elements. And you can incorporate, by the way, 2D elements from a variety of different places. We have a bit of a template library in here that I'm making available. This is available within the software, so you can actually take any of these ones and put them in there. So maybe there's this dude who's just kind of hanging out in the front here, doing nothing special. He's just existing here, watching this car chase happen. Made him a little bit fat. There we go. And one of the other things you can do here is you can import directly from Photoshop. So just to let you know, in Photoshop, of course, you have the ability to work with different layers. And if you import into Storyboard Pro, you can either choose to flatten down to one static image, or you can have it preserve the layer structure. So if you preserve the layer structure, each Photoshop layer is going to be a separate layer in Storyboard Pro, which means if you have like a couple of different things that you need to put out in perspective, let's say you've got a Photoshop background, but you've got one thing way in the back and one thing way in the front, then you just move that thing to the back and you move the other thing to the front, and you're all set to go. So what else can I say about 2D images? So in addition to being able to draw directly in the software, you can import from Photoshop or basically any other image and image editing software. And you can import an image as a scene, or you can import an image as a layer. And when you import an image as a scene, what it will do is it will create a new scene file for each image. So you can import like 30 images at the same time and have them all create 30 scenes. And then when you import an image as a layer, then it will just import that image onto the current panel. So you can only really do one at a time that way.